Red lights are on and away we go. Race start and a very good start from the pole position man who sprints away as soon as he grabs second gear. Andrew Graham then off to a commanding lead, and it's a drag race between a Golf GTI and a Lotus XL to the first corner, and the Golf GTI wins it, so that puts Charlie Cope into second place overall in the white GTI. Down the hill they go towards McIntyre's Craig Houston then in third place, and the Escort RS2000 of Alistair Coates into fourth, ahead of Mario Ferrari as the field streams downhill. John Kinmont is now up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's passed 7 cars so far, and he's up to halfway through the pack already, slotting in behind the BMW 2002 Ti, who's also rapidly moved through the pack from the back area of the grid. Cars streaming towards the hairpin already. Mario Ferrari chasing down the Escort as they head towards the hairpin, and John Kinman coming at speed, hauling the mail through to the midfield and up towards the hairpin. So John Kinman in that triplex livery drover, having passed half the field already as they come towards the end of the first lap. So it's Andrew Graham 78 ahead of Charlie Cope number 4, and Craig Houston 91 as they complete lap 1, heading down the hill towards McIntyre's, and Andrew Graham looks fairly comfortable in front at the moment in that Triumph TR8. Now the question next is, can Craig Houston catch and pass Charlie Cope? Craig Houston was about a couple of tenths a lap quicker on his best lap from race 1, so in theory he could catch that Golf GTI, but at the moment he's just a little bit too far back to make any attempt. Meanwhile, Mario Ferrari about to be engulfed by John Kinman's Rover, so that means John Kinman has got to 5th position from the back of the grid in a lap and a half. It's quite impressive. He does have a slight power advantage over many of the cars he's passed so far, but still he's got to work his way through the traffic and make that happen. And he's now passed the Ford Escort RS2000 of Alistair Coates, up another position then into 4th place. I wonder if he fancies the race win from this position, because it's another it's a 12-lap race this time as opposed to 15 minutes, so he's got another 10 laps to go, including the one he's on.
That's a long way around, Doc. 12 laps in these things, it's you never know what the others can do. I mean, John Kinman, he's a really experienced competitor. He'll be well used to that distance.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's raced in these conditions in this car before over this distance. So his best lap of the race so far is a 58.5. Andrew Graham's best lap so far a 58.8. So they're pretty evenly matched. The two cars between them are in the 59. So he should be able to clear those two, given another couple of laps. He's about a second a lap quicker than them, but then he's got to find a way to the front. Now Craig Houston's beginning to close the gap on the Golf GTI ahead of him. Craig is lapping a couple of tenths quicker. Andrew Graham's just set a fastest lap of the race, so a 58.467 for the leader, and but that is just a fraction quicker than John Kinman. But John Kinman's just responded with a fastest lap of 58.292 as he continues the charge to get to at least the podium, if not an overall race win.
That one error has just been so costly to John Kinman, because with that pace he does have front running pace there, as you said, Doc, and it has given us a fairly entertaining finale here though, with going through. Good to see also Alistair Bapty back out on circuit, starting from the pit lane and making his way through the field.
Yep, and the battle is beginning to develop for second place. Charlie Cope is very gradually being reeled in by Craig Houston, and Craig Houston now close enough to get a little bit of a slipstream. In fact, he might even have a lunge at the hairpin this time. Not quite close enough to do it, but he's now within a couple of car lengths as they come through the hairpin. So Craig Houston, I think, fancies his chances. There's not a lot between these cars at all in terms of straight line speed or cornering power. They're pretty evenly matched. Very different design concepts, of course, but and there he goes. Craig Houston positions himself for an overtake into Duffus, and yes, he's taken second place from Charlie Cope's Golf GTI. The Golf GTI is going to fight back though on the way to McIntyre's, but Craig Houston has it covered, and Craig Houston up into second place now. He's quite some distance behind the leader, but at least he's now put the Golf GTI between himself and the rapidly approaching John Kinman in the Rover SD1. So John Kinman down with every chance of getting to the podium here. They're already starting to get through some of the traffic. John Kinman delayed by an XR2 coming out of Clark Corner. They just swerved to avoid it at the last moment. And he's now within sniffing distance of the Golf GTI in front of him. Into the hairpin they go. And that's the second, third, fourth place battle. Oh, big moment for Craig Houston. And that's really going to cost him, because that's at the start of the longest straight from the slowest corner. And he was well sideways, didn't get the power down at all. And John Kinman charges past Charlie Cope in the meantime into third position, right on the tail of Craig Houston. And so Craig now will have his mirrors full of XXX branding on the front of that Rover SD1.
You can the smell coming off some of these cars as well, though they're being put through their paces here in this classic race. Quite remarkable. Yeah,
brakes, tyres, clutch, all giving off warm weather odours. It's quite something, the atmosphere down the pit lane. But Craig Houston is still hanging on. He's got John Kinman behind him, but how long can he stay there? John Kinman closing up on straight line speeds to go towards the hairpin. But Craig Houston is not giving up easily. He's not giving up without a fight. John Kinman gets to the apex first, but he's going to wash out wide, and that causes Craig Houston to be delayed. And Charlie Cope says, "Thank you very much, I'll take second place," and dives past the two of them. That was a fantastic opportunist move by Charlie Cope. Unfortunate for Craig Houston, because he was driving the corner very well and had to just almost stop to avoid the Rover sliding out. And Charlie Cope passes the Rover again, repasses the Rover.
Well,
and the Rover is grinding to a halt on the way to McIntyre's. There's some kind of failure for John Kinman, unfortunately, and he's been passed by an XR2, such as a slow pace. Now he's exited McIntyre's. I think he's in. If the car had a limp home mode, he'd be in it now.
Well, John Kinman there, he was making a move. He did make a move up the inside of Charlie Cope, so it must have been a pretty sudden failure, whatever it was, Doc.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed to be just slowed as he went through Leslie, so it's not like he's stuck in a very low gear. In fact, as Craig Houston now passes Charlie Cope on the way into the hairpin, so that's a change for second place. So Craig Houston trying to get back to where he was, and if he can get the power down cleanly on the exit of the hairpin. He was a bit slow at the corner. Charlie Cope closes right in on the exit of the hairpin, and they pass the line or cross the line about 2 or 3 car lengths between them. But I think Craig Houston has done it. He's got second place secured again. Meanwhile, John Kinman is smokily cruising around the lap. Alistair Baptist, a big lock-up as he tries to pass Mario Ferrari at the hairpin. He's done so. And John Kinman is limping to the finish, or limping to the pit lane, I should say, as Alistair Baptist, having passed Mario Ferrari, gets repassed at straight line speed.
It's coming towards me in the pit lane now is the Kinman Rover. It's not been, normally the car is just so dominant and so, such a winning car and winning driver, and it's just been a disaster today for the Kinman Rover. Into the pit lane. I'm just trying to see. It's smoke coming from the front left.
It's not a puncture, is it?
Brakes. No, I don't see. If it is a puncture, it's a slow puncture.
Yeah.
Is it trailing liquid? No, can't really see much, to be honest.
Yeah. It's very odd. It just suddenly happened. Duffus Leslie's area just suddenly lost all performance.
And he'd made a move up the inside of Charlie Cope, and then it must have been very sudden, whatever it was.
Yeah, so it was under braking, I think, for Duffus, or under cornering load at Leslie's, one of the two, as something's broken. Right, meanwhile, let's see where things are. Alistair Baptist then in 7th position. He's locked in combat with Mario Ferrari. He's got clear of Mario now, and as he goes under the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge, laps one of the XR2s, and so Alistair Baptist's next target is going to be Andrew Kinman. There's so many Kinmans in this race, I can't remember which one's which. I think Andrew's in the TVR, is he?
Correct.
Yes. So that's the next one. So that's the orange TVR. So Andrew Kinman he was also at the back of the grid. He's got up to 5th overall now, but Alistair Baptist is closing in at about half a second a lap, or more, in fact. So just trying to get my bearings as to where everyone is in the track. So that's Craig Houston just crossing the line now with 3 laps to go.
He's pulling away from Charlie Cope here as well. They've been so close all the way through, but the traffic, it just seems like Craig Houston's just been that little bit sharper through traffic there.
Yeah, as Ewan Anderson comes in pit lane to retire the BMW 2002 Ti, unfortunately. The TVR Vixen then comes through now, so that is...
Oh, it's leaking fluid. There's fluid coming out the front of the BMW. I wonder if it's a whole radiator or something like that, because there's fluid being leaked out from the car.
could be maybe just picked up a piece of debris or a stone or something that's gone through a radiator, so that's unfortunate. But meanwhile, the leader coming through the traffic, he's at the hairpin now, so that's Andrew Graham. He'll cross the line and we'll be seeing 2 laps to go on the timing computer. Fastest lap is with Andrew Graham. No, it's not, it's with John Kidman at 58.292. Andrew Graham's best is a 58.467. So at least a small consolation for John Kidman there. Craig Houston crosses the line, followed by Charlie Cope now, so we're looking now to see the potential battle for 4th and 5th. So 62 Andrew Kidman coming through the hairpin at the moment. Alistair Coates is next up behind him, then it's Alistair Baptiste. That's 4th, 5th and 6th. 62 Andrew Kidman, number 2 Alistair Coates crossing the line now, and then Alistair Baptiste Fiat, which is just crossing the line now. So Alistair really losing out enormously on straight line speed, but the way he hustles that car through the corners is a sight to behold. It makes up a huge amount of time.
He's got the thing in full yaw going into Duffus. I mean, it is at a proper angle going into Duffus. There is Alistair Baptiste in that mid-engine Fiat. It's a gorgeous machine up close. Like I say, very tightly packaged, very compact, lightweight, lovely.
Yep, and Craig Houston also doing a fantastic job today in that rejuvenated Lotus XL. He's coming through the traffic at the tail end of the midfield now, and that's him fairly safe in second position, car 91. We're on the final lap of the race, so the leader should be arriving any time soon. Checkered flag will be prepared. And I'm just trying to get my beat. The leader is so far ahead now, I can't find out where he is in the track, but he's on his last lap anyway. And listening out for V8s. Here he comes. Yes, down his lopes towards the hairpin for the final time is Andrew Graham after a flawless drive. 58.467 is his best lap of the race, but his race winning margin quite significant over Craig Houston. Craig Houston just braking for the hairpin as Andrew Graham arrives at the start finish line and takes the checkered flag. So 2 wins out of 2 today for Andrew Graham in the Triumph TR8. A fantastic drive, never put a foot wrong all day really. Second place then, I'm sure he'll be a delighted Craig Houston. He was almost in tears at finishing second overall in the last race. He was absolutely overjoyed with it, and that's 2 second places now. He must be thinking that at some point the cars might just fall right for him to win a race. He certainly deserves to. He's sorted that car beautifully since the last time I saw it on track. It really is a weapon now. Now, side by side, the back of our 4th is about to arrive. Andrew Kidman, 62, Alistair Coates, number 2, a drag race to the line, and the TVR gets it. They were side by side, door hand to door hander coming out the hairpin. Andrew Kidman, though, was a better drive out of the hairpin towards the line. He takes 4th position, Alistair Coates 5th just behind him. And that means the top 5 then was number 78 Andrew Graham, number 91 Craig Houston, number 4 Charlie Cope, and behind them Andrew Kidman in the TVR number 62 and Alistair Coates number 2 in that left hand drive green at Mark 1 Escort RS 2000. Alistair Baptiste then ended up 6th in car 13, the Fiat X19, ahead of Mario Ferrari's Alfa Romeo and Nicky Dixon's ermine white with a Sherwood green stripe Lotus Cortina.